Let's bring in Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich. He's also a Senate candidate and just returned from visiting the border yesterday. General Brnovich, thanks for joining us. What did you see?
Thank you. Well, I have been down to the border numerous times, and we are losing adjectives to describe the anarchy and chaos that's going on. I was down there talking to our dear friends, the Chiltons. They've been down there for 5 generations, and they will tell you they've never seen it this bad. And it was as a result of the Biden administration failing to build the border wall. They have MS-13 gang members. They have hundreds of people crossing their property every day. And as a result of that, we know when Border Patrol apprehends folks illegally crossing, they get out of the field, and that allows the drug cartels and the terrorists then to basically go right through and bring thousands of pounds every month of drugs into our country and allow terrorists to slip through the safety net.
So we just noted in that report from Bill Maloogian that the president has never been to the border. What would you tell him if he were to come down?
Well, it's a sad state of affairs when the president has been to more Hunter Biden art exhibits than he has to our southern border, because Americans are dying right now as a result of the failed policies of the Biden administration. Literally last year, I invited him. I invited Vice President Harris, who used to be a state AG. I've invited Secretary Mayorkas to come meet with us to talk to us. And I think the Biden administration, President Biden, needs to come here so he can see firsthand the damage his policies have wrought, not only to Arizona, but to the entire United States of America.
I want to put up the numbers because they are staggering, really. Between October and May 2021 to 2022, 67,000 folks were apprehended at the border from El Salvador, 155,000 from Guatemala, 137,000 from Honduras, 560,000 from Mexico. But then there is the category called Other, 616,000 people from other nations. We're talking about China. We're talking about really countries from all over the globe. What does that say to you, General Brnovich?
Well, it says, or it proves the point I've been making and trying to make in federal court, that the Biden administration has decriminalized and incentivized people breaking the law. And so these aren't people coming here to, be housekeepers or work as bartenders. As a result of these policies, you have literally people on the terror watch list coming in. You have the cartels flooding our country with thousands of pounds of illegal drugs every single month. So Americans are dying as a result of these failed policies. And we're also paying the cost not only in lives, but we're paying the cost in treasure as a result of all the social services, everything from, health care to housing to food stamps that the Biden administration is trying to give to people that are illegally or violating our laws.
There were 19 hijackers on 9/11, and we know the damage that they caused. Now we've got 50 people apprehended who are on the terrorist watch list, the federal terrorist watch list. But that doesn't include people who might have gotten away. Those are the people who were apprehended. There were 440,000 known gotaways during the 8 months from October of 21 to May of 22. And you have to wonder, okay, they ran away. They obviously escaped law enforcement. That's $55,000 a month. What do you think those people are up to?
Well, John, let's put this in perspective for folks. Just those numbers you're talking about, that's more than the entire population of a place like Buffalo, New York. I mean, so these are astronomical amount of people, that 1,000 a day in the Tucson sector here in Arizona alone, they're just slipping into our country. We know that the Biden administration is welcoming folks here that are here illegally. So you end up having a situation, you have to ask yourself, if someone could basically walk across the border, and we've seen this, carrying their carry-on bags and luggage, and surrender to Homeland Security, and then basically be let out into the country, what are these people doing that are going through 100+ degree temperatures, trekking through 19, 20 miles of desert in places like Arizona and South Texas? What intention do they have? And I will tell you, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure out that those people are coming here to do bad things. And whether that's crime in our inner city, whether it's flooding our neighborhoods with drugs, or whether it's, God forbid, an act of terrorism, the blood of dead Americans is on the hands of Joe Biden and the Biden administration.
Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.